to briefly touch on what I think is a very important studying tip that never was really taught to me in school. It's something that I kind of figured out on my own over time, and hopefully it's valuable for some folks. When you're studying, the analogy I give is this. If you were to run out on the street and you just sprint as fast as possible, how much are you going to run? 100 meters before you get exhausted? 200 meters? 300 meters? Now, if you start running at a nice slow pace, you can run for 10, 20 miles, right? If you're in good shape. So I want you to take that approach with studying. It's slow and steady wins the race, right? You don't want to attack the material like a maniac, get exhausted, and then you're not really getting a lot of marginal benefit for every extra hour you're studying. It's okay to take strategic breaks. It's the same thing when you go to the gym. Most people can't just go from, doing, bench press to pull-ups to bench press to pull-ups with no breaks. They need, maybe a few seconds, 30 seconds, whatever. Or, you might be able to split it up into different things. So that's where it's important to, even when you're reading, it's okay to gamify the reading. So it's not just like, read till I get tired. I feel like we're kind of taught to do that, but I don't think that's a very effective strategy. What I found, little things like, hey, if I can read 5 pages, I will do 10 push-ups after. That will be my little break. Or if I can do, if I read 5 pages, maybe I do 5 practice questions, right? Just to vary it up, right? Like sometimes it's very tiring to do the same thing over and over again. Might be easier, like if you're doing your laundry, folding your laundry, maybe like you get tired of that and you go and maybe put the dishes in the dishwasher, something like that. So might sound kind of a little bit ambiguous, but just understanding that you need to treat studying like any intense activity. You have to be strategic. And another little tip I recommend is take a break before you get fully exhausted. So you should know yourself pretty well. So you should understand if you feel like, hey, I'm starting to get cooked, take a break before you get fully fried, right? It's kind of the analogy to that is, when I for this happens to me quite a bit, and I've spoken to other people and it happens to them as well. Sometimes you can feel yourself getting sick. And if you feel yourself getting sick, sometimes it's what you do at that specific point that will prevent you from getting sick. So maybe if you can sleep a little extra, maybe drink some hot tea, maybe go to the sauna, whatever, that will almost stop you from getting sick. Because if you can prevent yourself from getting sick, the recovery process is a lot faster than now I'm sick, now I'm out for a few days. So same thing with studying is take a break before you get exhausted. It's okay. It's very, very difficult for people to study for hours and hours and hours and hours at a time. You have to take strategic breaks, whether it's 45 minutes on, 15 minutes off, or whether it's 30 minutes on, 10 minutes off. Whatever the right spacing for you is, that's going to allow you to actually study much longer and accomplish a lot more than just come out the gate hot, do 100 questions, get cooked after 50, and now basically you're really not absorbing any information. Or you just, you read 100 pages, but really the first 30 or the first 50 you're absorbing a lot, and you're not really absorbing anything after that. So just keep that in mind, and especially if your workplace allows you to study all day, especially then, no one can study for 8 hours. I mean, I don't want to say no one, but in general, you're probably not going to be able to study for 8 hours straight with 100% focus unless you're taking some kind of medication, right? For most people, just using those little strategic breaks and being intelligent and mixing it up will provide fresh stimulus, and you actually end up absorbing a lot more information, right? I mean, it's like if you're doing bicep curls for 6 hours straight. Is that really going to do much? You're better off maybe doing some bicep curls, doing some tricep extensions, doing something else, going for a run. You're better off splitting it up in different ways like that. So I hope that makes sense. It's a little more like, big picture studying in general, but wanted to share this information. Hopefully it helps someone. Please like and subscribe and listen for more. Thanks.